making the Final Four, you want to do it for Coach Bluder because of the type of person she is, why she's in coaching. Now you did it. What does that feel like?
Amazing. I mean, through this whole thing, she coached me way back when. I saw her in the locker room as a player, and she took a chance on this young coach. And, you know, over the years, you see a lot of people succeed and a lot of people win, and you don't really maybe like or respect their blueprint. They do it, you respect how they win, but how, right? But Lisa just has so much integrity and so much class, and just has done it the right way. She's truly one of the good ones in it. But so often you're defined by a Final Four or like your how many Big Ten championships, and she just has stayed that course. And I think I keep telling her she gets like a fine wine, which she does love. She just keeps getting better, you know, and I think you get older, you get wiser, you understand that it's not always about that end point, it's the journey. And boy, we enjoyed this journey. This team loves each other, they love us, we love them, and it's just such a great accomplishment for her, and I'm just thrilled as her best friend or one of them. Jenny and I, you know, we've been with her for all these years. I think we probably won't sleep tonight because it's just been a long time in the making.
You've been with Caitlin every step of the way, 41 points, 12 assists, 10 boards. What was it like watching her out there tonight?
Just a lot of pride. I mean, let's just take a moment. The audacity of this kid to be recruited, goes every which way, initially says, everybody's putting this pressure on her, and then just decides, you know what, I want to stay home. But she doesn't just say, I just want to go to Iowa and close to home. I want to stay home. I want to take him to the Final Four. The very, very first press conference. What does that kid do? She's one of the greats of all time. Everybody wants to critique her. Everybody wants her to be nicer. They want her to be more ladylike. They want her to be less arrogant. They want her to pass. That kid loves it. She's an entertainer. She is passionate. Does she make mistakes? Yeah. Does she get too hot? Yeah. Is she going to complain? Yeah. But the core, if you know her, if you've called her, or watched her, I should say watched her since 7th and 8th grade, I am so happy for her to do what she did. And, I mean, everybody's like, well, she's a player of the year, but they haven't gone that far. Well, I mean, this kid is something special, and I could not be happier for her. I'm just so proud. I'm proud that she chose us, and then to be part of, because we told her, we said, you come, we'll get there. It said, because that's what she said. And her parents were like, what do you think you can get there? We're like, yeah. And then to do it, dream come true.
Congrats, Jan. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Her relationship with Lisa, you know, like someone described it just now to me as mother-daughter.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
how would you characterize what stories, what moments stick out in your mind?
I mean, Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark because I think she felt a connection to Lisa and our staff and me, you know, all of it. But she needed the right head coach to let her be who she was. And she studied it. Like, we have always scored points. We've always shot it. We've led the nation in scoring a whole bunch of times. And I think Caitlin watched that. I mean, some guys and women, they call a play every time down, every time they're calling plays. And, like, we have a few sets, but we try to teach them how to play and read, and we let them go. And everybody's got a green light. And so if you throw it up and you got the three, we're going to take it, right? And I think she saw that. But I'm not certain that Caitlin would be Caitlin without Lisa Bluder. Because everybody at the beginning is like, oh, that shot. Even tonight, she took 3, but she also hit 6 that if you are always putting your thumb on it, you don't get that. And I think Lisa has always understood that. And I think Lisa has been really firm when she needed to be in her office and in practice. And so sometimes I think people, when they want to critique Caitlin, and they're like, oh. But I think a lot of those people must not be parents. Because Caitlin's kind of like, it's like this, you know, it's like a young toddler sometimes that you're trying to teach what's right and what's wrong. And you just have to be patient and know when to go in timeout, but then know when to go. And I just think Lisa has been really good, and I think that's why Lisa has had Megan Gustafson the Player of the Year. She knew how she was wired. She's had all these conference players of the year. Kathleen Doyle, Megan Gustafson, Caitlin Clark. She's really a player's coach, and I think that relationship has been really beautiful with Caitlin and Lisa. It's not all rosy all the time, but either if you guys, anybody's parents, it isn't with your kids either. And I just think it was a perfect place and time, and Caitlin believed in us, and we believed in Caitlin, and I'm beyond grateful for the moment. I'm so happy for Lisa and for Caitlin, and all of us.
So, when did you find out that your father passed away?
It was morning. My niece, who's been the main caretaker, her and her fiance, it was a call probably at 6:45. Immediately, I just knew. I tossed and turned a little bit last night, but I ate pizza late, and I was a little nervous about the game. But I was thinking so much about, okay, of all people, I would go home on Mondays, and I thought, because he hasn't been sound. He didn't sound so good the last couple days, and I was kind of fretting. I'm like, okay, who am I going to go to? If we go to Dallas, all that, and I just feel like he knew. I just feel like he was never like a high maintenance guy. Was never a guy that made it complicated with me and anything. And so I think he told my people at home, he said, I'm not ready to go until Jan's team's done. And then we'll let it settle, and then I'll go. And then when I got that call today, I was hopeful. I thought I think he knows we're going to win, and he can't make it. So he said, well, if I can't really make it, then maybe I'll just have a better seat. So I'm really, really grateful. Someone asked, did the team play for this? It wasn't really a gipper. They have so much they were playing for. And I know it'll be a lot because it's sports and we like sports stories like this, but it should be a sidebar because our team has been playing for each other for so long this whole year. And this was just an extra thing. They were like, yeah, let's do it for Coach Jay, because they'd have done it for our manager, they'd have done it for Coach Fitz, and that's what was the beauty of it. So I'm just grateful, personally and certainly as a coach.
It looked like Lisa tapped you on the knee in the last minute. Was that kind of like you allowed yourself that moment to think about?
Yep. I think when we got to the minute, because it's a little rough, tough sled when you could see we were getting tight. We don't lose.
Yeah.
And then instead we should have kept flowing. So we didn't, when we're up 20, you kind of let yourself go there. But then we got into the moment. But then at that point, she just kind of tapped me twofold. And she said, are you doing okay? And yeah. And then we talked about being together. And here we are. And what a day.
So I asked